An ordinary man named Sam Lunde was diagnosed with cancer. Doctors performed surgery on him. However, nothing worked. They told him he had a very short time left on his planet, so he decided to spend his final days uncured with his beloved wife. Follow-up tests showed that his condition wasn't worsening. However, Lunde deteriorated even further. Nevertheless, a few days later, a diagnosis was made of abnormal growth in his liver. As a result, Lunde died less than 24 hours later. Yet, upon examining his deceased body, doctors found that the testing yielded a false result. Sam was nearly cancer-free. Cancer didn't kill him, so what did? Could it be that Sam Lunde died because he believed his liver and the rest of his body was failing? There are tons of stories of people falling ill or getting better just because they believed they would. For example, one study found that athletes who believed they were taking steroids ran faster and lifted more weight than those who knew they weren't taking any. They expected to improve, and so they did. This is what we call the placebo effect. The opposite is what we call the nocebo effect, which explains why people who believe they are sick actually get sick. The placebo effect is not solely a matter of wishful thinking or self-deception. It's the result of interactions between your brain and your body. When you expect a positive outcome from a treatment, your brain releases chemicals such as endorphins, dopamine, and serotonin, which make you feel good and reduce pain. Your brain also sends signals to your body to modulate inflammation, blood pressure, heart rate, and other physiological functions. These changes can have real effects on your health and performance. Knowing this, you're probably wondering if there's a way to harness the power of the placebo effect for yourself, and there is. The placebo effect can work even though you know it shouldn't. A common meditation practice is to focus on a healing energy slowly filling your entire body, or alternatively, a thick warm healing balm slowly covering and filling your body from your head all the way to your toes, really focusing on the healing feeling you get. This practice is surprisingly effective in making you feel better. If you're not convinced, try it for a few minutes next time you feel sick. Try it with full focus and an open mind, because if you already believe it won't work, it won't, or at least not as well. Another way you can use a placebo effect is by visualizing yourself overcoming a temptation. For example, when you're feeling hungry and you have the option between choosing a salad or a donut, you can imagine yourself defeating a demon, where the demon represents your temptation to eat a donut. This actually gives you a victorious feeling, making it easy to say no and power through. Although this doesn't truly fall under the definition of the placebo effect anymore, it operates using the same mechanisms. By now, you probably get the idea. Using practices that actively make use of the placebo effect, like visualization, can have an amazing influence on your discipline, health, and mood. However, watching this video won't give you any benefits. It's meant to reveal the path to these benefits. If you truly want to use these tools to your advantage, you'll have to actively implement them in your daily life, using meditation or visualization as habits to give yourself a boost when you need it the most. While the placebo effect may work in the short term for curing health-related issues, effects don't usually last in the long term, or at least not as good as the real drugs. Therefore, one shouldn't regard placebo as a solution to health problems, but rather as an alternative when the real solution isn't available, or perhaps not even invented. Why believe you can cure cancer when you can actually get cured properly? It's also important to stay wary of the nocebo effect, which can worsen health conditions and make limiting beliefs come true. It's important not to drown yourself in the belief that you're sick, but it's also necessary to acknowledge when you need help in the case of, let's say, a gambling addiction. Further analysis of the mental challenges we face when confronted with gambling are discussed in this video, which gives you some insight into the dangers that lurk in seemingly innocuous activities, like buying loot crates.